Hi everyone, it's Eddie here. Welcome back to my channel. And today I'm doing a long haul. Yep, another one because I'm addicted to them and they're fun and they're great. So let me explain again for those of you who've never heard of the long haul technique. We're using a gel plate. This is my 8x10 gel press gel plate. And we have our paints, we have our brayer, and I'm using carnival tissue to lift off the prints. And that is a wet strength tissue that's really, really good to use with the gel plate. And the stencil I'm using is the Feathery Eye Cluster stencil from PM Artist Studio. And that's available online at their website. And you can use my discount code, which I'll put in the description box below, to save 10% off. And they also have a lot of other great stencil stamps. I have 6 stamp designs on there. If you look up Eddie Reyes under designers, you'll see all of my designs for stamps, and hopefully soon we'll have some stencils out designed by me. So look out for that. Okay, so a long haul technique. What that means essentially is you're using one stencil. You put your stencil down and you add a layer of paint. You pick it up with your tissue or whatever paper you're using. I highly recommend a tissue, the wet strength tissue, because if you're using like regular copy paper that people often use, it can stick in certain areas depending on the paint and how quickly the paint dries. And when you're rubbing that paper, it can get stuck to parts of the stencil, and when you go to pull it, it rips. And that's not what you want. So I recommend the carnival tissue. Now you can start with, we're going to start with a layer of paint on the gel plate, then add the stencil, pick up that paint. That's our first print, first pull. And you can do this, over and over and over. And what we're trying to achieve with the long haul process is the details, this design that's going to be left behind on the plate from all of the layers of paint that we put on. And I'm not going to stick to 1 or 2 colors. I'm going to try a variety of colors, as I often do. And then at the end, we'll pull up the stencil. So whatever's left is going to be this, really cool outline. And it's going to have the different colors and it's just going to look really, really cool. And then we'll use another color to pick up that final print. And it's usually turns out to be pretty fantastic. So let's just begin. I'm going to start today with, let me put my stencil down first. Okay, I'm going to start with the Festive Green. This is a great color. It's a relatively inexpensive paint. This is a Deco Art Dazzling Metallics in Festive Green. A very cool color. Ooh, got a little paint, dry paint there. How is everybody on this lovely day? I am filming this today, Sunday afternoon. This is the Sunday after Thanksgiving, so I hope everybody had a lovely holiday if you celebrate. If not, I just hope you had a lovely day. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, I had a nice Thanksgiving. My turkey turned out so good. It was nice and tender. It was juicy. It was crispy in all the right spots. Yeah, me and my brother had a feast. It's just him and I in the house, so we both cooked. And, like I said, we had a really nice Thanksgiving. We both ate a lot. and we both fell asleep early. I mean, early for us was like 7 o'clock because we had turkey for dinner. We didn't have an early dinner. We probably ate at like 6, 7 o'clock, which is fine. I like that. I don't mind that. All right. So what I'm using here is just a piece of paper towel that I folded up to rub on the tissue. And that's going to help you do two things. It's going to keep your fingers from getting painty because the paint, you know, depending on how much you put down, it does tend to come through the paper. Not a lot, but enough that it's going to color your fingers. And the other reason is it gets down, it helps you to get down into the nooks and crannies of your stencil design. So as you notice, this one has a lot of, you know, intricacies. And you want to make sure you get into all the little areas so that you get a nice outline. Okay. And I think, let's see, beautiful, beautiful. So that's our first layer. Now the cool thing about doing this process is after a couple of pulls, you'll start to notice that paint that was on your stencil starts coming up in bits onto your print. And that's cool. That makes it really, really interesting. All right, so what's the next color? I haven't planned out any colors, to be honest. That was the only one I planned out. I usually don't plan out. I kind of have an idea of where I want to go. I want to try to make these prints a little more holiday-ish, a little more festive, but not your, you know, typical, you know what I mean? Like, just a little more elegant, maybe. I don't know. If we go somewhere else, we go somewhere else. But let's, you know, we'll start there and we'll go from there. I think I'm going to use this phthalo green. It's a semi-opaque paint, semi-transparent. This one does dry quickly. I'm going to add a little more than I normally would because I want to make sure I get down into all those bits and with enough paint, give myself enough time to brayer it out and then pick it up because, like I said, this one dries quickly. That's important when you're working with your paints. Get to know them. You want to get to know how they perform, you know, in different situations. So if you're into gel printing, you want to make sure that you know which paints dry quicker than others, which paint takes longer, which colors dry faster. Now, typically blues, blacks, certain reds will dry a lot faster than other colors. You know, that's going to happen. So you have to be aware of stuff like that. And then within the brands too, there's some colors and some, you know, collections of paints that, based on their makeup, will dry quicker. Like the Liquitex soft body acrylics. They come in these little bottles here. This is from a set. And they look like that. Those dry very quickly. So you have to be aware of that when you see, my fingers could have gotten all green had it not been for my paper towel. Okay, we may have to do 2 pulls on this one. I love this shade of green. Very cool. Now, the only problem that I run into when I do long hauls is I don't have enough space to put the prints down to dry. So they end up on my floor, they end up on over here, over there. But, you know, it's all good. Let's see what else we can pick up with this here. Okay, now you can see, hopefully you can see this. This one's a little sharper, but can You see that in the corner there? It's pulling up color from the, oh, here it is. See? It pulled up color from there, so I got some of that festive green in this pull. And I can see that in a couple of little spots. So yeah, that's a fun, those are fun results when you get stuff like that. I'm just gonna, there's a little extra paint there. I wanna just scoop up. Okay. Where should we go now on the color wheel? Let's do an opaque paint. Sometimes I like to alternate, you know, opaque, neutral, transparent, you know, semi-transparent, just to give us nice variation. You know, I say I use this to keep paint off my fingers, but I always end up with painty fingers, so I guess it's just the nature of the beast. This is a great color. I love this one. This is a from Liquitex Basics. It's bright aqua green. You see the color, the little square that's solid black. That means it's opaque. Pull up my sleeves here so I don't get my sweater dirty. That's an intense color. I love it. See, there's some of that festive green there. You can see bits and pieces of the phthalo green that we used. Cool. Okay. Think. Let's see, what color do we want to do next? That was an opaque. Let's do a transparent. What do I have? Perhaps, you know what? I'm going to do black. This is iron oxide black from Lucas Krill. Let's see what happens. We're building up layers here, so keep that in mind. See, on your brayer sheet, you get some cool designs if you do it right. I tend to be heavy-handed with paint sometimes, so this is why I'm having to pull, you know, twice on the same color, because I do go a little heavy sometimes, but, you know, that's how I roll. One. This, the borders are picking up green. Actually, in the middle, it's picking up green too. Now at this point, because there is a lot of paint on the stencil, and in some of these areas I want to get some of that paint out of, I'm going to use, very cool, I'd like to use maybe a paint that I think is going to dry a little quicker and adhere better to the paint that's already on there. So I'm going to go with my soft body acrylic. Let's see, this is the transparent burnt sienna. Now I know this one's running a bit low, so let's see how much I can get out of here. Oops, that wasn't me, that was the paint. Okay, I think we got enough there. Yeah, that's a good amount. Make sure I'm getting down to these edges too. How cool that looks. We'll retire that brayer off. Wherever I see a whiter version or whiter paper, I'm going to push in a little bit to pick up that paint. Cool, cool. One more pull on this one. Oh yeah. How beautiful that is. Very pretty with the green. So good. Okay. Let's see. Let's do some gold. Where's my gold? Here it is. This is a deep gold from Amsterdam, number 803. A little bit lighter. I'm trying to be a little more conservative. Let's see here. Yeah, there's still some of that burnt sienna coming up, but that'll mix well with the gold paint. And sometimes when you're doing brayering, when you get a lot of paint, it tends to build up on your brayer. So I'll come through every so often and just give it a little bit of a touch up to get some of that extra paint out, so I don't inadvertently mix it with the color I don't want to mix with. Time to retire that piece. Tissue down, huh? Yeah, this one won't come through as much. And I don't mind if it does, because I like gold on my fingers. Shiny fingers. Ooh. Look at that. That's some pretty stuff there. Okay. I think we can get another print off of here. Let's see how much this pulls up. Ooh. That's stunning. Okay. I think I'm going to use a little yellow ochre. I haven't used this color in a bit. I put it wherever, you know, sometimes depends. Let's see what we get. That's the other part of this process that I like, is seeing what this thing pulls up and how it looks. So this will have a little bit of shine from the gold. And it's got some of the darker colors in there too, which is great. Let's see if we can get the rest of this up here. Look at that. I really, really like that. Cool. Let's do some cyan. This is 572 from Amsterdam. And this is also, yeah, this is a transparent paint. Look at that, that's pretty cool. Tissue paper. This one's got some greens, yellows. Very. All right, cool. I'm running out of space. That's okay. Back to the reason I use carnival tissue doing this technique. If I were to do this with a regular piece of paper and I did this kind of rubbing, that is going to make that paper stick. And then you're going to have an unhappy gel printer because your paper is going to rip when you try to pull it out. Oops. See? That happens because I shouldn't pull it just by the corner like that. How fabulous is that? These are turning out really well. Okay. I just want to take a peek on the other side and see what's going on. So we're building layers here. Getting stuff around the edges there. That's going to become our outline. Okay, I think for the next color, I'm going to use this purple. This is Amethyst, and it's another DecoArt Dazzling Metallic paint. It's a really pretty color. Make sure you shake these up well. Ta-da! Very nice. Okay. Isn't that brilliant? some more paper towel. And I cleaned up my hands as well because that last blue paint got all over me because I'm just messy. Ooh, look at that. I don't know if you could tell, but that's pulled up a lot of that layered paint that was on the stencil. I think there's a little bit more on here we can get off. Oh, that's pretty. Very, very nice. We could do, hey, let's do this. It's Color Shift Purple. This is Purple Flash. It's a Color Shift paint from Folk Art. And this, I'm gonna put my glasses on so I can't read this. This shifts to blue. So what that means is when you look at it from different angles, it can, change. You'll see a shimmer of blue. If I could get some out, there we go. And I'm being a little cheapo with that one because I don't have a lot left. So, a little conservative. That's the thing, there's certain paints, I'm sure any artist out there will agree with this. You get your favorite colors and you use them over and over and over, and then you're always surprised that you don't have enough or you ran out. But such is life, isn't it? Okay, this is gonna add a nice shimmer. Ooh, I like this. That's pretty. Very pretty. And it's still picking up green and blue from the stencil. Love it. All right, kitty, you can't step on my prints, they're wet. All right, let's see what color we can do next. Denser greens and blues and purples. I think another blue would be really nice here. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go dark but transparent. This is Prussian blue. This is from Amsterdam and it's a beautiful blue. Oh boy, what is that? A little paint thingy in there. Yeah, see, this one's almost empty. This is a Amsterdam number 566. Now with this color, I know I need to work quickly because this particular paint does dry rather quickly. So no squirreling on this one. Now I'm gonna set this down for a second because I want to try and pick up whatever's left on here before it dries. cool. Oh yeah. Sort of has a denim-y look. If you have patterned denim. This one, definitely darker. It's got some of that, the purples around as well. Okay. Get these out of the way. Oh, you know what I want to try? No, not yet. Actually, yeah. I'll try it. This is a golden acrylic, fluid acrylic. It's green oxide, or green gold, sorry. Oxide on the brain. And it's a, like it says, it's a fluid paint. But it's a really beautiful color. Oh, look at that. Very cool. You are retired, kind sir. Oops. Oh, wow. Look at that. It's a winner, winner, chicken dinner. Let's see if I can get any more. Probably a little bit. And you're not going to love all of your long haul pulls, you know, these prints that we're doing now. But if you've watched some of my other gel printing videos, I do, I take them out, I'll take out some of my prints every once in a while that I know are not completely finished and they need a little something, and I'll work on them. You know, so you don't have to do it all in one day, one session. Set them aside, and then you can come back and with fresh eyes and, you know, keep adding to it. Look at that. That's very cool. Another thing you can do with these is you can use sprays, spray dye, spray colorings on these to fill in the white areas. Or you could glaze them with a transparent color. Just do that. Lots of stuff. 22 prints so far. Not too shabby, huh? I think we could do a couple more. You know what I want to do? I love this color. I just got this. This is another one of those folk art metallic paints. This is ice blue. Want to be a surprise. Oh, good surprise. Look at that. Even got some Prussian blue left in there. Over here. Nice. Let's get another piece of tissue. Still some pink in there. Oh, wow. Look at that. Very beautiful. There's this one. Okay. I need room, I need room. Okay, there we go. And let's see what we've got next. I think it's time for white. And the reason I use a white when I do long haul sometimes is because the white can add a bit of a glowing effect on the outline. So it doesn't always work, but it's worth a go, isn't it? It's still picking up blues and greens, more blues, a little bit of green there. That's cool. See, that's a kind of print that I can keep adding on to, you know, get it, pump it up, you know what I mean? Very pretty, very cool. Got a few grungy bits there too, I like that. Ooh, I like this. This has a texture to it. This is the Golden Fluid Acrylic. It's micaceous iron oxide. And it has mica. That's why it's called micaceous. But it's perfectly safe for your gel plate. It just adds a really cool texture to whatever project you're using it on. I'm hoping that this will pick up a lot of that extra white that was in the open areas. But we'll see. Come on, I know you can pull that up. All right, let's go from here then. Look at that. That's lovely. Now, when it dries, when you rub your finger over it, you can feel it. It's really, really cool. All right, so I've got still some white in there. So let's see what we can do next to get that up. This will work. This is tarnished brass. This is a fluid acrylic. It's from Tim Holtz and Ranger. It's distressed paint, like I said, tarnished brass. Yeah, this is multi-surface paint, but it does have a tendency to dry quickly, which is fine, you know, depends on what you're using it for. Now with his distress products, distress means that when you add paint, it changes the appearance of whatever distressed product you're using and gives you a cool, you know, gives you cool effects. That should be enough. Shall we take a look? Isn't that lovely? That is a beautiful color. I'm trying to lay it out flat so you can see it. Oops. Come on. Very nice. I don't know, can I get some more off of here? Let's see. Hey, look at that. Another print. Okay, I think this is where I'm going to stop. And so the next step is to lift your stencil up and reveal all the goodness that's left behind. So check that out. Put some paper, white paper behind it so you can see that beautiful layer that's left behind. Its outlines, and you see the white gives it a nice little glow. So this is what it's going to look like from the front. Well, this is going to be your top layer. So we got to let this dry completely, and then I'll come back with another color and pull that print. All right, this is now completely dry. So I'm going to take a final color, go over it, put a piece of good paper down, and it's going to have to dry to make sure we get up all that good stuff. So that's going to take a while. I won't make you sit through that. Don't worry. So here I'm using a PBO color 357. It's blue, iridescent blue-green. I'm hoping this works. Let's see. I'm hoping it doesn't take away from the design that's on the plate. It's semi-transparent paint, but it's a metallic. It's nice and shiny. It's a beautiful shade. Okay. Now what I mean by good paper is, like, I like to use this Hammer Mill copy paper. It's for color copies. It's a little thicker. It's got a bit more shine, not a shine, more a little more, you know, glossy maybe, kind of. But it's smoother, and it holds up better, and the prints look fantastic on it. Okay, I should be using my Baron. Bam! If you want to get your own handmade wood Baron, which is used to smooth out the paper and make sure your prints are, your paper's well adhered to the plate, and your paints are getting together. You can go to Anthony Cody Woodcrafts over on Etsy. His link will be in the description box to the video. And he just, I know he has a bunch of new ones out now. By the time this video comes out, I don't know if he'll still be having a sale, but I know right now they're 25% off on some of them. And he makes other hand made wood products, bowls. I believe he made some clocks, some other stuff. I mean, a bunch of other stuff. So, you know, definitely check him out. Tell him I sent you. And if you have any questions or you want something custom made, drop him a message through Etsy, and he will do what he can to accommodate you. Okay. Let's see. This is what it's going to look like. Oh, yeah. I like that. And I like the white in here, giving it a little bit of a glowy effect. And we still see the design. Beautiful. Okay, once that dries, I'll come back and we'll do a big reveal. Okay, this is dried long enough. I think we are ready for the big reveal. All right, fingers crossed. Oh boy. Look at that. Ta-da! Look at that beautiful print. All that work was not for nothing. I hope you can appreciate the shine on that, and then just the fine detail from the stencil. I adore it. I love it. So that is print number 30. So this is technically a mega haul. We got 30 prints here, including this one, and then all of these 30 prints. So I've got a lot of stuff to play with here. And I've got this beautiful print that I can turn into something else if I wanted to, or I can frame it and give it as a gift. But yeah, this is totally gorgeous. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me in this long haul process, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much. I will talk to you soon. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.